Moving on, diaspora remittance remains a key source of foreign exchange inflow into the country, but as regulated as the sector is, an estimated 8 billion shillings annually cannot be accounted for from formal channels. This is casting a light into the world of money remittance providers, who in April saw 13 providers have their licenses suspended over ties with terror group Al-Shabaab. And as Philip Keitani reports, players now want the government to crack down on those unofficially operating remittance businesses. Take a look.
In April, the government suspended licenses of 13 MRPs for what it said were terrorism-related activities that providers engaged in. Unfortunately, some legitimate money remittance providers might have been caught up in the swoop, and according to the chairman of the Kenya Forex and Remittance Association, Anthony Washira, the situation is more complex than what the government was after.
I know of people who were in hospitals who expected to have payments for the medical conditions to be sorted out in hospitals. They expected the funds to come through some of these money remittance providers, but it was not possible.
The challenge with the sector has been the springing up of unlicensed operators working in the grey with no way to trace where the money was coming or going to.
The government retains the right to have questions over any industry, but I think a stakeholders meeting to discuss some of those things is the preferred way.
Kendi insists that the wrongful association of their business with terrorist-related activities has caused them huge losses. They are now asking the government to help them polish their image. They will also like the government to offer them some kind of tax concession to compensate for their losses.
Big things which can happen in Africa today is for governments and regulatory authorities to easen the regulatory framework. Every
year, Somalis from around the world send approximately $1.3 billion to Somalia to support families and friends. These represent 24 to 45% of the country's GDP and more than annual humanitarian aid, development aid, and foreign direct investment combined. Philip Keitani, KTN Business.